Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our holiday edition of Yoga Church Digital. Thank you for everybody who's joining us digitally. And for all of you that are in the room there with Karen, can you make some noise and say good morning? Okay, so for everybody who's there live in the space, social distanced and doing things safely, and for all of you that are joined in online, we just welcome you this morning. This holiday edition, we want to just say a little special. We know that everybody comes from different spiritual paths, and you don't have to be a Christian to kind of join into this. We want to welcome people, spiritual, nuns, duns, no religion, some religion, wherever you are in that, we just welcome you, and we're grateful to be together. This morning, I'm going to share a little bit of a Devo around kind of Christmas, the Christian tradition that lots of people are kind of celebrating right now. But as we begin, I'd love for you to post in the comment section your where you are, who you are, how you're feeling this morning. We would love to hear that from you. If you want to post that in the comments later, toward the end of the practice, we'll also take prayer requests for anybody who has something that you would like us to send prayers and positive thoughts on anything. So let me jump in briefly here. I'm just going to read a little bit of scripture from the Christian Bible, and then Karen's going to take over and lead us in our practice. And people frequently say, so what is really the kind of the fundamental beliefs of Christians, right? What's kind of the central thing that makes Christianity like distinct among all the different spiritual paths? And lots of people celebrate Christmas, right? Whether they may be Christian or not. So what's the tradition, the origin under the Christian faith? And if I had to summarize that with a single passage from the Bible, I would go to 1 John in the first chapter and the first verse. And there it says, in archeo in holagas prastan theon, which from the Greek means in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were made through him. There's nothing that has been made that was not made through him. And then if you move down just a couple verses from that statement, it says, and the Word has moved into the neighborhood and tabernacled among us. The Word has put on flesh and moved right in, right next door, right into the spare room of our house. The Word tabernacled. And this crazy kind of idea that Christians have about God is we believe in this God who, in the fullness of time, in all the brokenness and fragmentation of the ancient world, God put on flesh and made his dwelling with humanity. So this is not some distant God that's far away and inaccessible. This is not some God that we experience just primarily through some kind of scriptures or sacred text. This is a God who puts on flesh, who comes into the mess of our broken world, who moves in among us and takes on humanity, which is both very good. Human beings are very good, created in the image of God, fearfully and wonderfully made, of sacred value and great worth. Every one of you, please hear that. Very good. God has called you very good. But there's also this piece missing. There's this fragmentation, this brokenness that really only a relationship with God can fill. And so if I had to summarize what Christmas is about, it's really about a God who refuses to be God without us. So God becomes Emmanuel, God with us. And that name, Emmanuel, literally means God with us. So in Christians, when we gather and we celebrate and we sing these songs and we have these big festivities and these family gatherings, this is what we're essentially celebrating. that God came right into our lives. God reveals who God is by coming to us in a way that we can touch and feel and smell. God comes to us not in a bassinet in some imperial stronghold in a royal family, but God comes to us in a feeding trough for animals, in a cave that was full of feces. God comes right down all the way into our stuff in the mess of life to heal us, to redeem us, and ultimately to be with us always. Um, so this morning, as we go into the yoga practice, I personally, not everybody has to have an intentions. For some of us, it's just a workout. It's a time to stretch and flex our bodies a little bit. Some of us like to have an intention of there's something that I'm focusing on. So when I'm doing yoga, I'm actually thinking about worshiping God with my whole mind, my whole body, my whole soul. I'm thinking about a God who redeems our flesh, who comes in human form to show us just how marvelous and splendid humanity actually is, and that to be a follower of Jesus is to worship God with every dimension of our being, with our heart and our mind, and our soul and our body, and to reflect and know that God ultimately, if we had to summarize God in one word, God is love. And that's what the incarnation is all about. That's what Jesus is all about. That this God of love in the fullness of time puts on flesh to get to us and have a relationship with us. So, Karen, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for leading us this morning.
Thank you, Michael. That was a wonderful devotion. And so I invite you to just sit in a very, very comfortable position. Close your eyes and just begin to clear your mind of all the clutter of the holiday and everything that's going on. And just breathe love into your being. So close your eyes and just breathe. The heart of yoga is breath. So let us begin there. Maybe if you're at your home in a safe environment, you can change your breath pattern so that you're inhaling deep in through the nose and exhaling all the air out of your mouth in a long exhale, renewing the old air for new air. And returning to normal breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let us open our eyes, sit nice and tall, take your arms out long with your palms up. Inhale to float the hands up, and exhale, hands over, heart center, namaste. Inhale to float the hands up, reaching up high, big stretch here, reach out long, floating the fingertips down, moving at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling with each nice big stretch or seated sun salutation. Know that this is your practice and you should listen to your body, and anything that doesn't feel right, it's okay to just stop and do something else, or just take a breath, modify, or progress. Inhale and exhale, and one more big stretch. Inhale and reach your hands out as long as you can reach. Float your fingertips softly down to your mat. As we go into some side stretches, flipping that left palm up, taking it up for strength and over for flexibility, alternating side to side. Remember to move at your own pace and maybe just let your breath guide your movement. connecting the mind, body, spirit, and breath. Two more big side stretches. Inhale. And exhale. Rest your hands by your side and grow as tall as you can through the crown of your head as we go into some shoulder shrugs with breath. Inhale to shrug up, and exhale to shrug down. Inhale, and exhale. And on the next one, maybe take it to the back. So big shoulder rolls to the back, kind of slow. The slower you move a joint, the more tension you release. So think about with each breath, just releasing any tension in the upper back and neck as you slowly roll the shoulders around to the back. One more big shoulder roll to the back. Rest your shoulders down away from your ears as you grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head. We're going to go into some neck stretches. So just drop your chin to your chest, but keep your spine long. Let your head be heavy, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. And keeping your chin on your chest, let's go down the spine, rounding the spine, letting the rib cage cave in, letting the shoulders softly round forward as your head gets heavier and heavier, creating space between each vertebra. Relax your shoulders, your elbows, your wrist, and breathe. Inhale, on the exhale, slowly roll your chin up to your left shoulder. And when you get there, sit as tall as you can as we go into half neck circles and slow motion. Inhale to drop the chin to the chest, rounding the spine once again. On the exhale, rolling the chin up to the right shoulder and sitting as tall as you can. And just a few more half neck circles, inhaling and exhaling, moving slowly through your half neck circle. Inhale and exhale. And one more half neck circle in. Exhale, sit as tall as you can and bring your gaze back to the center. And be sure your knees are bent a little. You can either have folded legs, or if that's not comfortable, it's okay. You can modify, just take your feet out in front. So we bend our knees a little to protect our spine. Sit as tall as you can as you let your left earlobe fall towards your left shoulder with a heavy head. On the next breath, let's lift our head back up only to slowly look over our right shoulder with breath. Inhale to look over the shoulder. Exhale to come back to the center. Grow a little bit taller as we let our right earlobe fall towards our right shoulder with a heavy head. On the next breath, slowly lift the head back to the center as you slowly look over your left shoulder with breath. Inhale to look over the shoulder. Exhale to come back to the center. With your hands softly on your knees, we're going to go into a seated cat and cow. We'll start with seated cow. So you're going to hinge forward, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale to fill the lungs up with air. On the exhale, nod your chin and round your spine, rounding back like a Halloween cat. Inhale to slowly hinge forward. And exhale back into seated cat pose. Inhale. And exhale. And one more set. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to tall spine. Let's warm up that spine with some small upper body circles, starting small. If you want a little bit more out of this move, Maybe round as you go to the back and lift your heart as you come forward. Gradually increasing the size of that upper body circle. And remembering that the slower you move, the more tension you'll release out of your spine. Let us switch the direction, starting small and gradually increasing. Feel each vertebra in your spine release tension as you slowly use your breath to guide you in a nice, soft upper body circle. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back to tall spine. We're going to go into a seated butterfly, so if you're someone with lower back issues, keep your feet out. If you want a little more, maybe you take them in closer. Maybe you pull them in, maybe you wiggle to get closer. Grab hold of your knees, shins, or ankles, and sit as tall as you can. And seated butterfly. Some people like to actually flap their legs like a butterfly softly. Or maybe you just hold that stretch. If you want to go a little bit deeper with me, float your elbows over your knees as your long spine hinges forward. Tuck your chin and let your nose fall towards your feet as you softly press your knees down towards your mat. And breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, slowly round your spine up to tall spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. As we take our feet out in front, straighten our legs into stack pose, pointing your toes up to the ceiling and sitting as tall as you can. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And you're in stack pose where you can stay, or if you want a little bit more, maybe float your fingertips up and reach for the sky. And then hinge 2 or 3 inches and just pause there, breathing, pulling your belly into your spine. Feeling the energy flow through the back of your legs, through the soles of your feet, and through your arms, through your fingertips. Breathe. Maybe you stay here if you want more. You can go into a seated forward fold, but know that it's contraindicated if you're over 60. So the seated forward fold, you begin to hinge forward, bringing your chest towards your thighs, bringing your fingertips towards your feet. And then gazing down to your knees, grab hold wherever your hands are and breathe. You can bend your knees a little or a lot, whatever feels good for your body. And breathe. On the next breath, we're going to slowly roll that spine back up to tall spine as we pull that left knee in. Or Lord of the Half Fishes, you're going to float that right hand up to the ceiling, only to drop that right elbow on top of your left knee or to the side. Sit as tall as you can as you slowly rotate around to your left, keeping your gaze lifted, keeping your heart lifted, and breathing so deep that you feel your lung and your rib cage expand. This is a restorative pose. Any spinal rotation helps to restore your mind, your body, and your spirit. On the next breath, slowly come back around to the center as we lift up the left ankle and put it on top of the right knee for a hamstring stretch. It's important that you sit tall here. You can stay here, but if you want more, lean back with a long spine as you slide the right heel in and then slowly hinge forward, bringing your heart towards your lifted leg. Maybe you cradle your knee, gently rock it, or maybe you cradle your whole lower leg. Remember to sit tall, be gentle. So my intention for the practice today, for the holiday, is to do a practice that will help you to just relax and to let go of any anxiety and to just be still and take time for yourself to enjoy the season of peace of joy, and of love. It's hard to do that when we're so busy that we don't take the time for ourselves to just be, to maybe do a yoga practice that helps us to be better, helps us to relax, and make the most of the season of the holiday. On the next breath, let's go in and straighten out our legs once again as we pull our right knee in for Lord of the Half Fishes. As we go on the other side, we're going to float that right hand up. Drop the right elbow on top of the left knee or to the outside if you want more. With a tall spine, slowly rotate around. That's the right hand. Lifting the heart, lifting your gaze. On the next breath, come back around as we drop back down into that butterfly pose. One more time, sitting nice and tall. And this time I do encourage you to just kind of flat, softly, loosening up the hip joints before we transition to our hands and knees. And now let's bring our knees together as we transition to our hands and knees. With your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Be sure that your hands, your knees, and your feet are all in a straight line. If you have knee issues, you can curl your toes under and lift your knees, or maybe put a mat under your knees. We're going to move right into a traditional extended child's pose. So uncurl your toes. Drop your buttocks to your heels. Extend your arms out in front of you. Drop your elbows, drop your forehead to your mat, and breathe. 5 breaths here. So this child's pose that we are in at this time, this is a pose that is used as a modification for downward dog or for any pose that doesn't work for your body. So keep that in mind. You can always come here at any time and do an extended child's pose. On the next breath, come on back up to your hands and knees. Be sure your knees and feet are separated as we move into big hip circles here, swinging your hips to the left, down over the left heel, the right heel out to the right, back up to the center. So bigger and slower is better. Switch the direction of your hip circle. Inhale. And one more inhale. And exhale, we're going to go into dancing lines. So we just add to our hip circle. Slide your left hand out in front of you, only to float your left arm out. Flip your left pinky up. As you take your pinky up to the ceiling along with your gaze, you're going to bring that pinky back to your left ankle as you do your hip circle. You do an arm circle. So begin to circle the arm with the hip and breathe. Slower is better here. Inhale and exhale. So this is specifically for joint release of the entire body. So remember that the slower you move, the more tension you will release any joints. On this next circle, we're just going to float that pinky up as high as we can, opening up through the left side of the body as we prepare to thread the needle. You're going to drop the left hand under your heart, through your arm, dropping your ear and shoulder down to the mat. Maybe pick up your right hand and put it on your lower back more, or not, and breathe. On the next breath, slowly come back to your hands and knees. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side as we go into dancing lines on the other side. Floating your right hand out as far as you can reach, floating the arm up, and then taking the right pinky up to the ceiling along with your gaze. As you take your pinky back toward your ankle, circle the hips as you circle your arms. Remember to move at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. With each dance line. feet up, reach as high as you can. Open up through the right side of the body. I see the breath in the needle drop your hand. Under the heart, through the arm. Dropping the ear and the shoulder down, maybe lifting your left hand on top of your lower back. And breathe. On the next breath, slowly come back up to your hands and knees. And next, we're going to go into a downward dog. So remember, the modification for downward dog is child's pose. So if you have glaucoma or any kind of high blood pressure, you would probably want to go into that child's pose. Otherwise, curl your toes under, lift your knees, lift your sits bones, let your eyes go to your knees or your belly, press the earth away with the heels of the hands and the balls of the feet. Let us move into some slow pedaling, dropping the left heel down, bending the right knee. Drop the right heel down, bend the left knee. And then move at your own pace, continue to pedal. Left, right, inhale, exhale, in, exhale. Exhale, maybe press both heels down towards that as you lift your sits bones a little higher. Inhale and exhale. Next, we're going to lift our heels as high as we can, and you're going to drop your shoulders over your wrists into a full plank. Now, if you're in child's pose, you can just move into a bent knee plank. Drop your knees and support yourself, or stay in your child's pose. Or progression would be to keep the knees up and breathe. So a plank is just like a board, a plank. We're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way down to cobra. So drop your chest, let your fingertips line up with your shoulders, uncurl your toes. Now I do like to warn you that in cobra pose, your lower disc will compress. So beware if you have any lower back issues. Squeeze your elbows in, maybe you just lift an inch or two because you have back issues, or maybe your body allows you to lift a little bit higher into cobra pose. Two more breaths, and then we'll move back into our child's pose. Pushing back into child's pose, where maybe you stay, maybe you curl your toes under and journey down the dog. And then back into our plank once again, either knees up or knees down, whatever works for your body, and breathe 3 breaths here. You can just feel your core fire up here. So as we challenge our body for these different poses, it helps us to release anxiety because we're challenging our physical body as well as our mental body and even spiritually. You can move back down into cobra, or maybe you join me for chaturanga. You're just going to lower your body and hold your body up with your elbows in chaturanga as long as you can, or maybe you need to drop back down into cobra. And on the next breath, move back into child's pose, where maybe you stay, maybe you join me for downward dog. Or one more vinyasa. Dropping back into either knees down plank or knees up plank. Dropping down into cobra, or maybe you join me for up dog. Uncurl the toes. Lower the hips slowly as you lift your heart and lift your gaze up. It's just a progression from cobra. So cobra works just as well. Next, drop back down into your child's pose for 3 breaths. Next, come back to your hands and knees. We're going to end up standing. So the way I'm going to go into standing, and you're welcome to modify and go into your own way of getting into a standing position, will be in a standing forward fold. I'm going to go into downward dog, so you can join me here. Either walk your feet toward your hands, or your hands toward your feet, or maybe you even hop forward. Let your nose float toward your knees. You can bend your knees here. You can just go up to standing, whatever works for you, and breathe. From here, we're going to float our hands on top of our knees, straighten your arms, gaze to the front of your mat. And then slowly roll up to seat. Inhale to float the hands all the way up. And exhale, hands over heart center. We're going to go on and turn this way as we go into our good morning pose. We're going to separate our feet nice and wide. Turn your toes out just a little bit. Unless you have any knee injuries, then you want to keep them parallel, straight forward. Inhale to float the hands up, arms out to a T. Go on and hinge halfway down. Only halfway down, so your nose doesn't go below your hips. You can stay here with long arms, long legs, long spine. Maybe you progress and join me for revolving triangle, dropping your left fingers or hand under your heart to the mat. As you float your right fingers and gaze up to the ceiling for one breath. And then come back into your good morning pose, long arms. And if you're doing revolving triangle, go on and drop your right fingers or hand under your heart. As you lift your left hand and gaze up to the ceiling. And then back into your good morning pose, only to hinge back up to standing straddle split. Float your arms up into a Y. Let's go into some flowers, or some people call them snowflakes up north. So take your elbows into your waist and then reach out. So this is really all about breath and body and sink. Inhale and exhale. Inhale love and exhale anything that's not lovable. Inhale and exhale. Let's go into some big sunflowers. Just make a sunflower shape with your hands. Only go as low as it feels good for your body. Maybe you're more advanced, you go a little bit lower. Keep your knees behind your toes to protect your knees. And two more sunflowers. In and exhale. And this time bring your hands over your heart center. Swing your heels out if your toes are turned out so your feet are parallel. We're going to go right into our warrior series here. So inhale up back into standing straddle split, but palms are down. We're going to turn that left foot out to the side. And then bend your left knee. And then rotate your upper body to look down your left knee. And then we're going to go and drop our back hand towards our back leg, flip your front hand up, begin to reach towards the ceiling. A little or a long. This is called peaceful warrior. Let's breathe 3 breaths here. When we hold our poses like this is a good time to think about your intention if you have one today. I like to think about love. The gift that has been given to us. Coming back into warrior 2 with long arms, this is where we reset, and we will move into side angle, dropping that elbow to that front knee, bringing your back hand up, and gazing down to your big toe to protect the neck. And if you want more, you can go into extended side angle, just extending your hand down to the inside angle. Maybe you gaze up to your top hand, or you keep your eyes on the front. Coming back into your warrior 2 with long arms to reset. As we move into triangle, going to straighten out that bent knee, hinge your body forward, drop your hand to your thigh or your shin. As you reach your back hand up, gaze down to your big toe. On the next breath, bending that knee once again, coming back into warrior 2 to reset as we move into warrior 1. Wonderful stretch. Go on and take your back hand forward. And then reach up, both hands are over your shoulders. Your hands, shoulders, and hips are stacked. You can stay here or you can join me for a little challenge with a crescent lunge by lifting that back heel up and turning that back foot in the same direction. Crescent lunge. If you're in crescent lunge, you can move back to warrior 1, back Back to warrior two. Turn that left foot forward, back to standing straddle split. As we move to our other side for our warriors, go in and turn your right foot out, bending your right knee. Rotate to look down your right arm. Peaceful warrior. Drop your back hand, flip your front hand. Begin to reach up towards the ceiling or the sky. If you want more, you can continue reaching upward towards the back. Moving back into warrior two to reset. As we move into side angle, we're going to drop that elbow to that bent knee. Reach your back hand up, gaze down to your big toe to protect your neck. If you want more extended side angle, extend your hand down. If you still want more, beware of throw you off balance. Go in and let your gaze go up to your top hand. And then slowly come back into warrior two to reset as we prepare for triangle pose. You're going to straighten that bent knee, bend your body, drop your hand to your shin or your thigh, reach your back hand up and breathe. On the next breath, bending the knee once again, coming back into warrior two to reset. As we move into that warrior one, take your back forward, reach both hands over your shoulders, reaching as high as you can. You can stay in warrior one. Maybe you want a little more challenge today. Totally optional. You can lift your back heel and turn your back foot into crescent lunge. If you're in crescent lunge, you can move back to warrior one, back to warrior two. Turn your right foot forward, your back into a standing straddle split. Inhale to float the hands up and exhale, hands over heart center. Take your heels in, take your big toes in, take your heels in, and you can stay here, or if you want a little bit of a deeper pose, a deep yoga squat. So it's important that you either go here or all the way down, but not in between. So if you're going all the way down, you just drop your legs down. Let your elbows push your knees away. This is a hip opener if you're a runner or a cyclist. This is something you could do every day to really help your hips loosen up. On the next breath, go and nod your chin, bring your hands down, swing your heels out, and slowly bring your feet back together, roll back up, tall standing. In. Let us come to the end of our mats to do our swan dives. As most of you know, this is my favorite. And I love the swan dives because it should feel good over your entire body. Actually, before we do the swan dives, we need to do our tree pose. So let's do our tree pose first, and then we'll go to our swan dives. So I like to do tree pose every week so you can see how you're progressing, even though I know some days are worse than others. So we're going to start our progression, hands over heart. Find a spot on the wall where you are, something not moving, and try to just focus on that spot. Focus on your intention, whatever that may be today. Lifting up your left heel, maybe you stay there. Maybe you turn the heel against your inside ankle, maybe you float it up. Maybe you pick up your foot and put it on your inside thigh. Remember, this is your tree pose. Pull your belly into your spine. Use your breath to help you stabilize. Grow through the crown of the head. On the next breath, let us release as we move into mountain pose. Dropping the shoulders down away from the ears, lifting the heart, flipping the palms forward. Close your eyes as we take away one of our senses, our eyesight. It helps our brain to remember the connection of our feet to the earth. Let us be grounded by pressing all four corners of the soles of the feet into the earth. As you grow tall like a mountain, breathe in strength and sturdiness. and positive energy with each breath. On the next breath, let's open our eyes. Inhale, we float the hands up. Exhale, hands over heart center. So tree pose on the other side. I always like to encourage you to move your arms to a different place. So let it be your own tree. So maybe you're a tall tree. Maybe you're a Christmas tree. Maybe you're just an uneven tree. Maybe you're a tree blowing in the wind. It's your tree. Go on and lift up your right heel this time. Let it sit against your inside ankle. Maybe you stay here. Sometimes it's safe to keep that big toe down on the floor or the mat, or maybe you float up. Remember to find that spot. Use your intention and your breath to stabilize here. Remember the connection we just felt of the soles of the feet to the earth. Inhale, and on the exhale, go on and release. Float your hands down, and let us move to the front of our mat for our swan dives. So we start with our hands over our heart. The reason I love swan dives so much is because you can really move your body in a very free way, letting your breath allow you to move in such a way. So it's very free feeling. So soft knees through the whole dive. Inhale to float the hands up. Exhale, swan dive down. Hips go back. Hands can come in front of your knees or your ankles. Palms go forward. You're going to bend your knees a little bit more because it's as though you have a heavy load. Heavy load of joy, hope, love, peace up to heaven. That's back to your heart center. And exhale to dive. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale all the way up. Over heart center. Let's do two more. In. And one more. In. Let's go back to our mat. I'm going to do it by doing a forward fold. So you can join me or go down, whatever makes sense for your body. Forward fold, fingertips in front of the toes, hanging down there like a rag doll. And then slowly step back to your hands and knees. Let us go on and take our feet out to the front of our mats as we move into boat pose. So boat pose is fun because it's your boat. So you can make your boat or float your boat however you want. Take your hands behind your knees. Let's do a little posture stretch first. So sit as tall as you can. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Pull your heels in. Grow through the crown of the head and pull your belly to your spine. And you're going to feel those back extensors, the long muscles of the back tightening up. That's okay. We're strengthening and lifting those back posture muscles. Go on and stay there. Continue to grow tall. Let's do a little ankle mobility here. Lift up the balls of the feet. Inhale. Exhale to press down. Inhale up. Exhale down. In. Exhale. In. And in, exhale. Last one. Inhale, press the balls of the feet down into your mat and roll past your tailbone. Be sure you're not on your tailbone because it won't be fun the next few days. So roll past that tailbone. You get to hold onto your legs here. Look at your belly. Put your belly into your spine. Relax your shoulders. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze. Lift maybe one leg. Maybe you're one-legged boat. Maybe both. Maybe you bring your hands on to hold on for stability if you feel like you're going to fall over. Or maybe you reach up if you can. Maybe you want more, you straighten your legs and get you a boat. On the next breath, release behind, hands behind the knees, and grow tall once again. As we transition onto our backs, so we're going to slowly roll past your tailbone. It's important that you move through this slowly. As you slowly lift your feet, roll one vertebra at a time down, rounding the spine like a Halloween cat, and dropping the back of your head to your mat. Go on and bear hug your knees. Just let your feet relax. Maybe do some ankle circles here. And I encourage you to circle your feet as slow as you can and feel how that slow movement can release tension. So we do have a lot of tension in our ankles and our feet, and we can release it by moving them in a slow, big circle. And then just relax your feet, let them dangle. Bring your hands on top of your knees as we move our knees away from each other in big circles, out to the side, down, and back together. Let your fingers guide your knees in the biggest, slowest circle that you can do. As we release any tension in the hip joint and the lower back, release synovial fluid around those joints to help us move better and feel more relaxed. And we're going to switch the direction of our circles by pushing our knees down to the end of our mat, then out to the side, as you pull them back up by your heart. Big knee circles with relaxed legs. The more you can relax the legs, the better this will feel on all of your joints, and the more tension you will release. Let us move into happy baby on the next circle, pulling your left knee to your left shoulder and your right knee to your right shoulder. Maybe you pull your knees apart. Push your tailbone down towards your mat. This is actually a modified happy baby. If you want more, you can lift your big toes over your knees, grab hold of your big toes, which is a little deeper pose. Maybe you rock like a baby rock softly side to side. And then release your happy baby, only to bring your legs up the wall. So it's as though your legs are sitting against a wall. Let your body be grounded while your legs are weightless. Of course, if you need to support them, you can bring your hands behind your thighs. And breathe. You're welcome to stay there through the rest of our practice through Savasana, or you can join me bringing the soles of your feet down to the mat with your knees bent. Let your arms come out into a T with your palms up as we move into supine butterfly, letting the soles of the feet come together while the knees move away from each other. I encourage you to push your lower back into the mat, pull your belly into your spine, and relax here in supine butterfly. You can stay here for our final Savasana. So legs up the wall, or maybe supine butterfly. Or you can straighten your legs, bringing your left heel to the left corner of your mat, and the right heel to the right corner of your mat. As we go into our final Savasana, the most important part of our practice, this is where we totally relax. So move into that position where you can just melt into your mat and just be in the moment and breathe. Take this time for yourself to totally relax. In this busy season of the holiday, breathe in love and peace and joy so that you can be that person that has peace and joy and love. We come to the end of this 2020 year. What a year it has been. Just be thankful that we're here, that we've been blessed with so many things. Let's look at the good things, the positive things in our life, and be thankful. So as you relax your mind and your body, your spirit and your breath, I encourage you to relax your feet, your toes, balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, your heels, your legs, your calves, behind your knees, your thighs, even your buttocks, and your back, your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, your shoulders and your arms, the insides of your elbows, the insides of your wrists. Let your palms face upward so that you can truly relax your hands, the palms of your hands and your fingers. And with your palms up, if you relax your thumbs, you will feel your shoulders relax even more, where we hold so much tension and stress. Can you relax your shoulders just a little more? And maybe relax your hip bones and your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage, your chest, your neck, your scalp, and all the muscles in your face. Let us relax the muscles in our face, our forehead, eyebrows, eyelids, cheekbones, your nose, your chin, your ears, even your jaw. Unclench your teeth, let them part. Maybe let your tongue fall away from your teeth. Relax your lips and just be. Continue to breathe and be aware of your breath as we open our hearts and let our hearts be filled with love. Love of yourself, the love of those around us. Love in a chaotic season. And the love of God. Open your hearts to this love. God is love. Open your hearts and let them be filled with peace, grace, and gratitude. And may your season be filled with joy. For some people, it's a hard time. So let us pray for those that are having a hard time. It's hard to find joy. And share the joy that we have in our hearts with those around us, especially those that need joy and love and peace. And if you could slowly make your way up to a seated position as we close our practice and lift up any prayer requests. As some of us are alone in our own homes or in our living rooms, some of us are together in small groups, but we can still pray for each other in the spirits. So let us close our eyes and lift up any prayers that you may have. You can screen them out, you can type them in. If you type them in, we have a team that will be praying for any prayer requests that we know of. Prayer is powerful. Let us pray for one another. Pray for everyone that is watching this practice or participating in this practice today or any time for the rest of the season. I pray to have peace. Let us open our eyes and bring our arms out long with our palms up. Inhale to float the hands up. Exhale, hands over heart center. May you have a wonderful holiday season. Michael will close us out. Namaste and peace be with you.
Namaste. Thank you, Karen. We're going to just close with the Lord's Prayer. So anybody who's comfortable with it, we'll flash it up for you on the screen. But it's just a prayer to the Heavenly Father. for all of us. This is the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And amen. Hey, everybody in that space, can you make some noise for Karen for the practice today? And for those of you that are on live, if you want to post in the comments section your appreciation and your thanks. And we thank you for joining us today and being part of this. And I just echo the words of Karen. May you have a blessed holiday season. And we will be praying for all of you as we go along. God bless you all. Thank you for joining with us this morning.